What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another, or the first, episode of this weekly upload series that I'll be doing, where I will be addressing certain hot topics in gaming, as well as talking about games that I'm playing, the community's playing, and games we are excited about. As anybody from my community might be already aware of, I am very vocal about my opinions on games, and a lot of them have been pushing me towards taking this step. I said I'd do something like this in the update, and here I am doing it. If an awesome editor out there would make this more visually pleasing with some awesome cutaways to game footage of games I'm talking about, or on-screen pop-ups that attract the eye, that'd be awesome. But I don't have that, and it's a lot of work, and I don't give myself enough time to do it. That being said, this is the second week of September, I think, right? And today, like most Mondays, I spend my time playing Kingdom Hearts in the morning. I've been playing through that series, and over the weekend, I've been kind of deep diving into the lore further. So this really awesome video about how Kingdom Hearts 4 could potentially be including the spirit of a game that is now just fading into memory, Final Fantasy Versus 13. But there's a few community members that I'm aware of that wish that game came to exist. And, you know, as I've been playing through the Kingdom Hearts series, I have just seen the magic, and I believe it again. And I am absolutely overcome by the nerddom that exists in that intellectual property. I may be a minority in my community on this opinion, but I think it's one that I just absolutely love diving into on a regular basis. So if you'd like to catch that, go ahead and tune into my stream on Twitch.
It shores the margins of day and night. They brought you and I together. So why not also you and another?
Yes.
Going forward, there are games that I'm looking forward to playing with the community, and lately, very surprised, and I'm sure a lot of community members are, we've picked up Destiny again to some degree. You know, we were early adopters, legacy players in Destiny 1, and some of our founding members of the community have like thousands of hours in the Destiny intellectual property. But over the last 2 years, we've all but abandoned it. Like, we felt a bit beaten, broken, bruised, and taken advantage of in some ways because the game was a very expensive commitment. It was filled with hope and aspiration for really being a game amongst games, one that arguably did achieve that. It's certainly a game that's still filled with many flaws, but after taking a long hiatus from the experience and watching them develop a pipeline of content over the last couple of years and start to chisel out a new era for Destiny, and of course the most recent announcement of the Lightfall DLC drove some interest back to what has been. And I gotta tell you, fun is the answer. You know, so I've been encouraging people to pick it up again and play it, because we've been in this weird content space where games have we've seen some burnout on some popular daily drivers, Call of Duty, Overwatch, you know, and a bunch of competitive games, and there hasn't been a lot of cooperative experiences out there, and Destiny still to this day has a very unique cooperative experience, as well as a challenging first-person gameplay loop that doesn't exactly exist right now. And it's a shame, because it should have by now been a genre that has been the springboard for better versions of itself. But it seems like every game that tried to do the Destiny thing just failed at it even harder. Even Borderlands has yet to really reclaim the appeal of the older fans from the series, and haven't really redefined the looter shooter genre. Still hopeful that Borderlands is one of the few that could do it, but somehow coming back to Destiny has felt nostalgic as well as refreshing, because it does feel different. Still, Destiny has a huge problem with it being absolutely insanely expensive to play. But for the first time in a while, if you do the math correctly, I still would say that you can get the current year's worth of content, which is many hours worth of something to do, have friends to do it with, and while the interest is on the upswing, going into the February release of the new year's worth of content, the value has shifted. I personally went through Green Man Gaming and got a discounted rate while during the time that Destiny was actually on sale. I got all the content for year 2 for less than it was like $85, which again is the average going rate of most games these days, and it is a decent price for hours spent playing a game. I like to advocate for valuing your playtime based on the hours you get out of your games, not necessarily by the completeness of design. A lot of games nowadays are going to come out incomplete in many ways. They are more and more are we releasing games that have battle passes, that have downloadable content planned, that are going in early access and almost never leaving them. So the value of games is constantly a conversation that comes up. It's a hot button topic conversation that I find still to this day is not being handled in an appropriate fashion. I'm someone that likes to advocate we change conversations in these topics, and I like to remind everybody that if I'm here suggesting that if you're looking to spend some money, to have some time to play some games with friends, surprisingly, Destiny makes my cut for this generation. However, one caveat, I think it is a little late in the year of content, and I suggest if it's really not a good time for you to commit to a game, perhaps wait for Destiny's February Lightfall release. And honestly, I think it's a safe dive in to go for the annual pass up front. I've seen the price going as low as $85 for a full year of content pre-purchased. And at least now there is a clear pipeline on how that content is going to be delivered. So at least you know what you're paying for. Back in the day, we didn't. And what we were paying for on the days of releases, we're oftentimes feeling shortchanged and kind of feeling like we were exploited a little bit. But I'm glad to know that it's changed. So here I am saying that I will be playing Destiny. Maybe not a whole lot on stream, but I'd be enjoying some strikes and some raids, you know, in a very casual fashion with community members. And if you're looking to get on that DLC in February, we'll prioritize more time for it. And maybe, just maybe, we'll race with some of the other Destiny community for a little while. The Claw
allows you to see psychic imprints of past
Take
events.
me to your leader. Moving on, and this is where a really awesome swipe would happen. And, you know, after seeing so much Destiny highlighted gameplay, another big conversation for me is Overwatch. I've been a huge Overwatch player for many years now, and we have been talking about, well, the community has been very vocal about their opinions with Overwatch 2, and with only a few weeks away from release for free, mind you, this game will be available for everyone on every platform on October 4th. There is a huge discrepancy and again a huge outcry about Overwatch 2's failure to launch before it even got started, because again, Blizzard, not being the greatest communicators to their community, has used particular language that has driven the commentary towards Overwatch 2 being set up for pay to win, being set up for exploitive measures in the way they're monetizing the future of their game. I've been very particular with parsing through a lot of this information to make sure that I can be informative to you. And what I can say is in confidence, Overwatch is not pay to win. However, Overwatch clearly, and the team working on Overwatch clearly is showing the structure or an incomplete structure for how they are trying to grow. It's very clear that the choices they're making are not adequately communicated with the community that's playing their game, which is a common trend in gaming in general. These live service games, the free to start, monetized, these live service, pay overtime experiences are still lacking in a fundamental community management and fall victim to these missteps and oftentimes just say the wrong things and start the conversation in the wrong direction. The average gamer does not understand the business narrative. The average gamer does not understand the cost in making a game. But you need somebody to communicate genuinely and transparently why the choices are being made the way they're being made. And yes, to both benefit the person making the game because they have to profit on said product, but again, a live service game should not be so removed from the community that's keeping it afloat. Overwatch 2 can very well fail at launch. Overwatch has already experienced a bit of a decline in interest amongst the communities, and as someone who has high hopes for the esport to still thrive, there is a lot of things that are keeping it from a positive direction. So, what's my point? Two things. One, I'm absolutely excited about Overwatch and will be playing it at launch. Two, do yourself a favor, and if you see a significant amount of people complaining about a game that isn't even out yet, try to withhold your opinions because there's a good chance it's backed behind a lot of misinformation, hype, and trending buzzwords. If you have an opportunity to play the game firsthand, play it, have an opinion on it. You might find that the things people are talking about are really not that important, or they don't make a huge difference. You know, I may not get millions of views on this video or videos in the future because I may not be entering in those hot button discussions, but I'm certainly trying to make sure we change the narrative and continue to invest our time into these spaces in a positive way. Whether you're competitive or whether you're casual, I think battle passes are reasonable to me. I'm used to it now. I think it's a really good approach, especially with multiplayer games. Overwatch taking a battle pass and having a free track and making a character unlockable makes a lot of sense to me. Overwatch choosing to lock competitive play and making it so that nobody can enter the competitive bracket until all heroes are unlocked feels a bit short-sighted because it's only the new heroes. So it kind of feels like it's kind of pointless. And going forward just feels like an unnecessary barricade to time lock the experience. It's going to be one that we'll just accept and move on and get over. And honestly, it may cause people to not play for the first couple of weeks until competitive is unlocked. I will be disappointed if I cannot play competitive on launch. That's going to be weird for me. And it might cause me to play on launch and then just get burnt out immediately. Well, this sucks. I'd like to be able to show what my SR looks like. I'd want to grow. I want to level up every day. That's the play. In the meantime, if I can't get my level up here, I'm probably going to go to another game that I'm actively playing for the level up. So, we'll see how it goes. There's still no official statement. There's still not enough official commentary around the release of Overwatch to validate some of the information that's coming out. So, with only a couple of weeks away, the fact remains it's happening whether we like it or not. And I'm still going to play this game. I hope you will too. Moving on. Lastly, another couple of games of the community I've been playing, games that I like to frequent. Disney Dreamlight Valley is a game that's been very popular right now. I don't have a whole lot to say about Disney Dreamlight aside from the fact that I played it. I put in, I think, like 20-something hours into it right now. As a Kingdom Hearts player and a Disney fan from way back in the day, I was pleasantly enthralled by that experience. And if you like games like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing and The Sims, and if you like Disney, well, I should say if you love Disney, definitely give this game a try, especially if you have Game Pass, as it is also on Game Pass. It was absolutely a pleasant experience, and I probably will jump back in again. That game also seems to have their developers committed to content release going forward. So I'm excited to see what other inclusions they have. And they already confirmed that multiplayer is on the way. Although not available right now, is one of those games, one of those cozy games you could probably play with friends in the future. Something casual, something fun, something to kill a couple hours with somebody you enjoy killing a couple hours. I myself will be spending most of my time playing my competitive games going forward. I like my skill-based games, and I've been fixated again on Rocket League, so if you guys are looking to play some Rocket League, I like to turn that on later in the evening times. In October, I will be picking up Overwatch. Stay tuned for more updates on Overwatch on this channel. That is a primary driver of my content. I'm looking forward to the releases of Final Fantasies coming out in the future. So again, stay tuned to more videos revolving around my absolute obsession with the Final Fantasy series and anything Square Enix, because again, I love what they produce. I really do. We got a couple of games coming out next week, but as the games release information, I'll do my best to update you guys with information about upcoming games and games that I stay excited about because, you know, maybe you're interested. That being said, I got to get the ball rolling. I got to go ahead and edit this video. It's going to probably take me far longer than I want. I won't even be able to pull the bells and the whistles that I want on it. But first of many, I hope you liked this video, guys. I hope it was mostly clear and informative. Maybe I dragged on too long. Please go ahead and tell me in the comments down below. And if you'd like more videos like this, comments, like, you know the deal. Listen, this is first of many, right? Help me out, guys. I need you. I'll see you soon.
It's driving me crazy.